Hey family, Eve here. Today my attempt will be to teach you who the children of Israel are today, or how Israel became to be, how the name came to be. But before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now again, I said my attempt will be to show you who the children of Israel in this video, show you how Israel became to be Israel. And in my next video, I'm going to show you who the 12 sons of Israel is, each tribe, their name, and their identity, who they are today. So let's get started. I'm going to start with Abraham and Sarah, then Isaac and Rebekah, and then I'm going to show you the breakdown, because Isaac and Rebekah, their sons, Jacob and Esau. Jacob, who became Israel. That's what I'm going to show you guys today. Do it as well as I can. Okay, so I'm going to start with Abraham and Sarah in Genesis, their conception of Isaac. In Genesis 17 and 19, and it said, "And God said, Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him." So God has already said that Isaac, he's going to bless Isaac and Isaac's seed after him. So we know that most times when a child is born and his seed is going to be blessed after him, it's probably going to only be one. Isaac only had two sons, and they were Jacob and Esau. And both of them didn't receive the blessing because we getting ready to see. So we getting ready to go to Isaac and Rebekah, which is Jacob and Esau, which is Genesis 25, 21, and 22. It said, "And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was bearing. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived." And it says, "And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord." 23 says, "And the Lord said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people should be separated from thy bowels, and the elder shall serve the younger." 24, "And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb." Now, it's telling you right there, that's two different nations of people. One gonna receive the covenant that Isaac is going to be passed on from Isaac to one of these twins, and we know it's not both of them. And it's telling you right there, they already two different nations of people, so they're not the same. So they won't even be considered brothers as they grow up. Being two different nations, they won't even be considered brothers anymore. So let's move on. So it says, 25 said, "And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they call his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his head took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob." See, they was already battling. They was already battling, because one was pulling on the other, tugging on the other. So two nations struggling in her womb, coming out, and they still struggling because they fighting right there. That show you that they're gonna be at war. Those two nations gonna war against each other. So let's move on. So we getting ready to go to the covenant, the birthright and the blessing. Who received the birthright and the blessing, and why? So Genesis 25, 29, and 34 talks about birthright. Isaac passing the blessing on to one of his sons. So let's see which one it is. 25 and 29 says, 25:29 says, "And Jacob saw," it said, well, let's go to 27. And it said, "And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, and a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in the tents." And it said, "And Isaac loved Esau, because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob, and Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came." It said 29 says, "And Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field and was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Esau is Edom, because the red pottage, red, that color red, Edom. It says, and Jacob said to 31 says, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. He just gave his birthright up so freely, so willingly, as if it was nothing. Birthright it means everything to the Most High. So let's go. Let's see. So he gave up his birthright. Let's see what happens with the blessing, because they're not the same. They go together, but they're not the same. So let's see. The blessing is in Genesis 27. Let's see what it says about the blessing. It says 27 and 1 says, and it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I. And he said, behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison, and make me savory meat such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, and that my soul may bless thee before I die. So he telling him to go out, because he getting ready to pass on the blessing. So he telling him to go out and get meat so he can prepare it and bring it in to him, so that he can feed him and he can bless him. But let's see. Like I said, blessing go with birthright. Let's see. So it says, verse 5 says, and Rebekah heard, their mother heard, when Isaac spoke to Esau, his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spoke unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord before my death. She said, now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 goat kids, two good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. Now see, because he gave up his birthright so freely, he about to lose the blessing. And see, most people would think that Jacob supplanted him for this birthright, but the Most High, normally Esau would have received the birthright, being the eldest, but he gave it up. He willingly gave it up. So he also is about to give up his birthright, because when he gave up he's about to give up the blessing as well. Because when he gave up his birthright, the Most High had a whole nother plan. See, you would say they devised this or supplanted him, but the Most High put it in her to do this, to let Jacob receive this blessing as well, because he's got the birthright. He gave it up. So let's see. So she said, and Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son, only obey my voice, and go fetch me them. And he went and he fetched him, and he did it, and she prepared him and everything. And so now when he comes back, when she after she prepared, then she dresses him up like his brother Harry with some of the garments that his brother has from where he hunted, and she puts them on his body to make his father believe that he's his brother. Watch this. It says, verse 15, 27 and 15 said, and Rebekah took goodly raiments of her eldest son Esau, which were her with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goat upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave him the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hands of her son Jacob. And he came in unto his father and said, my father. And he said, here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto him, 19 says, and Jacob said unto him, his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according to as thou as thou badest me. I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. See, his daddy finna bless him with the blessing. So he received the blessing. His brother gave away the birthright. So the Most High had the mama devise it, that he get the blessing. Wasn't supplanting. It's just that they go together. You don't get one without the other. It ain't no separation in the two. The covenant, and you remember Abraham, when Abraham got ready, when Sarah conceived Isaac, the Most High said that the covenant would be for Isaac and his seed after him. So Jacob is that seed. Jacob is that seed, not Esau. It's Esau doing. He did it. He gave it up willingly. So because Esau was so upset because he felt like his brother supplanted him and he deceived him into getting the blessing, he gave him the birthright, but he was mad at him because he felt like he took the blessing. But like I said, they come together. So when Esau found out that Jacob had done this, he was upset with him and he wanted to hurt him. So Jacob's parents, the mother and the father, Isaac and Rebekah, sent Jacob away and told him that they didn't want him to find a wife amongst these people who they were dwelling under, which were the Canaanites. And so they sent Jacob on his way. And Jacob went to go stay with her father, Laban. And let's continue. That's where Jacob received most of his blessing, and his father-in-law, his brother, he was his uncle, but also his father-in-law. So that's where he received that's where he received and prospered when he was in the house of his uncle, his father-in-law as well. So let's go. I done got too far ahead of myself. So let me just go where I stopped and come back. So Genesis 27 and 27 is where Isaac blessed Jacob. He said, and he came near and kissed him and smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God give thee all the dew of the heavens and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And 30 says, and it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from hunting. And he had made savory meat, and brought it in to his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, where is he that had taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thine camest, and have blessed him, and he shall be blessed. See, he blessed Jacob. He gave Jacob the blessing. But see, that was all the plan of the Most High. once Esau gave that birth right away, that was a done deal. It was a done deal. So Esau, who was so upset, so mad because he felt like Jacob done supplanted him. Here he goes. He's so upset. He says, this is what he says about Jacob. And when Esau, this is Genesis 27:34. He said, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, my father, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and has taken away thy blessing. And he said, it is not he rightly named Jacob, for he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he had taken away my blessings. Told you, they go together. So let's see. So Esau was so upset with Jacob, he wanted to do him harm. And so when they were done, when Jacob was done blessing Jacob, Esau was conspiring against him. Like, so, and it says here in verse 41, 27:41, it says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. See, he wanted to kill his brother. See, already. He was already planning to kill his brother after he felt like his brother took the blessing. He said, so while Esau was conspiring to bring harm to Jacob, Rebekah was told what Esau wanted to do to Jacob. So this is what she said in Genesis 27:42. This is what happened. It said, and these words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doeth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. And she said, now therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise. Flee thou to Laban, my brother, to Haran, and tarry with him a few days until thy brother's fury turn away. See, she sent him to her brother, and she told it to Isaac, her husband, what he had devised, what his plans were to do to his brother. So this is what Isaac said to Esau. And this is chapter 28, verse 1. It says, and Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise and go to Pandaram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. So Jacob was already planning. They was already planning to send him away. But while Jacob was getting ready to go away, Esau was still devising. Listen to how he had become so angry, so filled with malice and spite against his brother. And anything that his brother was doing, he was going to do the opposite to disappoint his parents, because he felt like they blessed him and they knew he had supplanted him, or felt like he had supplanted him. So this is what happened. This is what he said. It says, and then went Esau to Ishmael. Hold on, it says, and that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother and was gone to Pandaram. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, then went Esau unto Ishmael and took unto the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Naboth, to be his wife. See, he took a wife from the Canaanites. He took a wife from Ishmael. He took a wife from them. And they know that that was against God, the Most High's will for Isaac's and Rebekah's children. But because he was so evil towards Jacob, he went on and took a wife from them. Anything that his mother and father wanted for them, he was going to do the opposite. So Jacob went on to his uncle, which later became his father-in-law. Now Jacob was on his way. He had journeyed to the east where his uncle was. And so it says here in chapter 29, it says, then Jacob went on his journey, and came into the land of his people of the east. And he looked, and behold, a well in the field, and lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. Far out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And Jacob, and verse 4 says, and Jacob said unto them, my brethren, whence be ye? And they said, of Haran are we. And he said unto them, know ye Laban, the son of Nahor? And they said, we know him. And he said unto them, is he well? And they said, he is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep. So Jacob he had journeyed to go be with his uncle, and that's where his mother and father sent him to take a wife. So Rachel, his cousin, is coming with the sheep. So here we go. It says, Genesis 29 and let's say 29 and 13. It says, and it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for nothing or naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel. And they seemed unto him but a few days, for he loved her, for the love he had to her. And he said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for an handmaid. 25 says, and it came to pass that in that morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And Laban said, it must not be done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. So he beguiled him. He gave him his eldest daughter. But Jacob wasn't in love with the eldest. He was in love with the younger. So what he said, this is what he said. He said, fulfill her week, and we shall give thee this also for the service which thou hast served with me yet 7 other years. So he's telling him that he would give him his other daughter if he served him for 7 more years. So he served him, worked for him for 7 more years for his younger daughter. So he was going to be married to both of the daughters. That's how they used to do it back then. But yeah, so he served him, and it said Jacob did so and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. So Leah had a handmaid, which was Zilpah. Rachel, his second wife, and her handmaid, Bilhah. So all of these women were Jacob's. Jacob had 4 wives. Four wives. And for each of these wives, Jacob had sons. 1 daughter and sons. So each son is considered the sons of Jacob, which I'm getting ready to go back into details about, we get into how he became Israel, how Jacob became Israel. We're getting there. We're almost there. So let me go there. So Jacob had served his father-in-law all these years. We know at least 14 years, because he served for both of the daughters. So he served his father all these years, but he knew it was time for him to go back to his father's house. So when he got ready to go back to his father's house, he he got all his wives and children, and he had each one of his sons. I'm getting ready to, like I said, I'll break down that chapter, and all his sons, what they were named when they were born, who they are, and who they are today. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to give their names in this video. I'm going to give their names in the next video. But note that he has 12 sons. He's getting ready to go back to his father's house. But remember, he was warring with his brother. And so when his brother was so upset with him, he said when their father died, that he would kill him. But Jacob is on the way back to the land of his father. So after he served his uncle, which is his father-in-law as well, after he served him, he decided that it was time for him to take his wives, his children, and his handmaids, and go back to his father's house. Now, on his journey back, he was worried about his brother, because he knew he was going to come upon him. Once he found out that he was going back to his father's house, he was going to try to despise of him, or get rid of him before, or not despise, but kill him before he made it back. So on the way, he journeyed, and his brother was gonna try to get him. So let's go there. Hold on one second. Let's go there to show you where they what he did on the way. So when Jacob was on his way, he was preparing for if he should so happen to run into his brother. So he had servants, and he was preparing his servants as to what to say to his brother if he should come upon them. So Jacob had sons, wives. So he split them up in two groups. He sent one group with one servant and another group with the other servant, so that if his brother should bring harm to one, he won't kill them all. And Jacob had a fear of his brother. So let's read and go and show you what it was that Jacob devised as he prepared for seeing his brother. And it says, and Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, this is God's host. This is Genesis chapter 32:1. And it says, and Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, this is God's host. And he called the name of this place Mahanaim. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom. And he commanded them, saying, thus ye shall say, ye shall speak unto my lord Esau. Thy servant Jacob saith thus, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed there unto now. I have oxen and asses, flocks and men servants and women servants. I have sent to tell my lord that I may find grace in thy sight. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, we came to thy brother Esau, and also he cometh to meet thee, and 400 men with him. And Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that was with him, and the flocks and the herds and the camels and the two bands. And if Esau came to the one company, and smite it, then the other company which is left to escape shall escape. And Jacob said, O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, the Lord which said unto me, return unto thy country and to thy kindred, and I will deal well with thee. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and of all the truth which thou hast showed unto thy servant. For with my staff I passed over this Jordan, and now I am become two bands. He said, deliver me, I pray, he said, deliver me, I pray, from the hands of Esau, for I fear him, lest he will come and smite me and the mothers with the children. And thou sayest, I will surely do thee good and make thy seed as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. 13 says, and he lodged there that same night and took of that which came into his hand a present for Esau his brother, 200 she goats and 20 he goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milch camels, which their coats, 40 kine and 10 bulls, 20 she asses and 10 fowls. He delivered them into the hand of his servant, every drove by themselves. And he said unto his servants, pass over before me and put a space betwixt drove and drove. See, he was commanding them what to do when Esau came. So he sent his children and the mothers and his servants on in 2 groups. He sent them before him. And this is what he did. He didn't go with them. He sent them on. And like I said, he was praying that if Esau should do harm to one group, then he won't harm the other group. So let's go. It says, so Jacob, this is Genesis 32 and 24, and it says Jacob was left alone. It said Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, and he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. See, Jacob is asking this man to bless him. He was saying he wrestled with him, so he asking him to bless him. He's saying he blessed me. And so this is what he said to Jacob. He said, and he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou doest ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. That is where Jacob became Israel. That angel blessed him on that day, and he became Israel. That is why his sons are known as the 12 sons of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, the sons of Israel. And Israel, the children of Israel, the sons of Israel, the children of Israel, are children that came from the loins of Jacob, not the loins of Abraham, not the loins of Isaac, but the loins of Jacob, who is now Israel. So that's how the children of Israel came about. The name Israel came about. Thank you for allowing me to share this video with you. And I'll see you on the next video.